Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meticulous Talks on November 26th. I am, as always, Chris Accords.
And I'm Hifrock.
Oof, you feeling? I'm a little tired, actually. Hithrock, of all the invitational. It starts to take a toll on me, but I'm happy that we're almost done with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 months now, or
Yeah,
around that.
I guess so. September, October, yeah. But we have the one game still tonight, and uh, at least one more, depending on how it goes from there.
Did you ever think that invitationals take like 1/4 of a year?
Well, I guess, yeah. I guess that's how it works.
It's a very long time, but
Yeah. Well, like I guess, yeah. When I first started it, it was in the single elimination. It was only I guess a month and a half.
yeah.
Um. Well, but yeah, double elimination kind of doubles it up is what it does. But it's worth it. I think they've been some excellent games so far, and we'll continue. I think. Well, I don't think I've properly announced that you're going to be the person commentating with me tonight.
Yep.
I think you're going to enjoy tonight's match.
Ooh,
It's a good one for you.
does it have Trixie in it?
I
I'm kidding.
don't actually think it does. No.
Oh,
Or
well, I think you're misleading me there.
does it? No. No, I think
I
those.
mean, it might have like a bailiff mode. That's not
Well, okay, yes.
Trixie.
It does have a lot of starlight, but I don't think it has any tricks.
Unacceptable.
Any
Well, either way.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, this stream is going to be about the Ponyville Ciderfest results, which the tournament happened at the start of the month, but the results only got posted about a week ago.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about, and well, I would like to focus on the Harmony results over the core ones because, well, frankly, I didn't find the core ones to be particularly interesting. I don't know if you've looked at them.
Um, Not really, no. But I'm looking at them now and I see Stunning Wonder, so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing two stunning wonders on top. Um,
Blue, yellow. It's like, yeah.
I am getting a little sick of that deck already. Yeah, which funny.
Already, what do you mean? It's been 3 years.
Well, so like this particular version of it, like we only saw it come back to the fore at Continentals, which I guess was only 4 months ago, right?
Yeah.
But then, well, yeah, we've seen a lot of it since then.
But I mean, it's mostly the same stuff as 3 years ago, I would say. Like, it's in the core, the deck is not different, right?
Yeah, and we'll frankly be talking about it in the Harmony results anyway, because Cheese and I both
Yep.
ran a admittedly Harmony version of it, although I think it's actually no, it's not. It's not quite adventure legal, but it's pretty close.
Oh, Chillax. And Fire and Rating.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, Chillax is not banned in Harmony?
Well, I guess not.
Wow, I thought it was banned everywhere. I was
Uh,
wrong.
Let me go find it. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is banned in adventure.
I mean, Cheese ran Chillax, so
Yeah.
probably unbanned. Not banned. Does have Harmony Pegasus in it, so makes sense. All right.
Uh,
Should we like we usually go from bottom to top, so we're kind of
sure. I guess. Yeah.
ahead of ourselves here?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's. I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, starting from ninth place and yeah, we will be on the Harmony side with Choking Luna and Alicorns.
Licorns. Wow, this main, I've never seen this main in the deck list.
Wait, are you? I assume you're being facetious, right?
I have never seen this main in the deck list.
Oh, really? No,
That's true.
this is I think Joking Luna, he plays changelings, but he also plays alicorns, and he's played this main before.
I have not seen this main played ever by anyone.
Huh.
It
I
must have been really cool, like at the tournament, to have your oversized main.
well, yeah, it always is. With the I mean, oversized and with the three.
Lenticular, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
I
high.
wish we had more lenticular cards. Those are
Well,
interesting.
I mean, yes, obviously. Um, if we don't have foils, though, is a good shot of not getting the 3D effect.
Yeah.
But it is kind of strange now that I think about it. Like, this game's the only one that's done it, right? Like, Magic hasn't done lenticular effect
Yeah, I
cards.
haven't seen any lenticular magic cards, but I can speak for other card games. But yeah, I haven't really heard of that being a thing. But I mean, so there's an argument that they're so easily scratched, right?
Hmm.
Like I think my copies are like very scratched, and I never used them. But at the same time, people take so much care of their cards that if you like take an actual proper care of them, probably not gonna get scratched. And I think there was another issue that there's no card sleeve that fits them because
Well,
they're oversized. But I
yeah,
guess small cards would be like really cool. Although the problem, like on the regular cards, half of the card is the text.
yeah,
You don't want the text to be lenticular. You only want the art,
yeah,
and that gets really weird because you have to code like with the lenses on the half of the card. Like I think it's much harder than just not do that. I guess
yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
but for some promos, I think it'll make sense, especially if it's a card everybody knows anyway, right? I know
sure.
it'd be pretty cool. Maybe there's like maybe you can print your own lenticular cards. I don't imagine it's too expensive because, well, I guess you have to print at a fairly high
It's
resolution for it
yeah.
to work.
Well, how does
Because the
it
way it
work
works, it
again?
has
Oh, yeah,
so it has like the like the surface when you like move your finger on it, it's like uh what's the word starting with R?
rippled.
Yes, exactly. So those ripples are actually lenses, and
Right,
depending on which angle you look from, they point in different like point on the paper.
right.
And on the paper, you like choose the areas where like a different, it's like interlacing on.
Okay, right. So
Yeah.
it is just one print coding,
Yes,
but
but it
yeah,
has like different images embedded into it
I see.
through interlacing. That's how it works.
Right.
So like you only need to print at a fairly high resolution, and you need to like put this like the thing, I don't know, like the lenticular coating, I don't know what to call it, on it. But otherwise, it's not like too hard to do, you know. And I guess that's evident by the fact that like there's a lot of like mini collectible things that are lenticular, and like it's not doesn't seem like it's a big deal to make them, you know.
Hmm.
Either way, that's our
Yeah,
tangent for today.
get that out of the way real fast.
Yeah, we didn't even start looking at the deck.
Yeah,
Uh,
I should bring up my record to see how this deck relates to Alicorns as Joking Luna has played it before. Harmony.
so ninth place is pretty unfortunate, but I mean, I give points for using the main.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he played it as recently as Winnie City this year, um, which I guess was over the summer, I think. And this is it is a different build, quite significantly different. Well, maybe not that significant. No. There's changes all over the place. This is kind of just a generally revamped with newer cards. kind of list, I think. Slightly more aggressive. He, he's gotten rid of a lot of the sort of adventure Celestias, Solar Serenity, Equestrian General. Put in newer events.
Yeah. So
I think and the magic overloads too. Actually, that's pretty important. Sorry, go on.
I was thinking about Midnight. Like Midnight is really hard to play in this deck, right? Because you only have
Um,
one color in your deck of her. Like
uh,
Endless Friendship is very doable. Your deck is already purple yellow.
mm-hmm.
But Midnight is, I think, a little trickier.
Is it just Barrel that you have for getting into those colors?
And Rushed Makeover. Oh
Oh, I
wait,
see.
is there
No,
Rushed Makeover?
no Rush Makeovers.
Oh, maybe there should be some Rushed Makeovers. Because then you can play your Tricorn for 2 AC.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean, I would keep the barrels, but I would also have Rush Makeovers.
yeah.
And I say that as a really greasy person on the entry.
It's gonna cost 780 regardless, because no way to avoid paying the 5 for Midnight as well.
Well, with that, I mean, you hopefully have Flash Sentry.
Oh, Flash Sentry. Yes, I guess so. Yeah, that's right.
Really sad that, there's that troublemaker in Celestial Solstice that, just brings you an Alicorn.
Mm-hmm.
And, nobody will challenge it, so it never works.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish it did, right? Would be such a nice card in this deck. Like, I wish it was worded a little bit differently, so it, works.
Yeah.
If
If
it's,
it
well, maybe if it's dismissed is a little bit too strong, maybe, but, something along the, maybe if it's dismissed and you pay 1, you can, search for something. I don't know.
that's yeah. Yeah. That could be interesting.
And also, I like the flavor of that card. Is it's a troublemaker, nightmare moon, and alicorns show up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Once you defeat her, it's just what happened in the show's premiere.
Exactly so. Especially as well, yeah, you are going to be searching up a Luna or a Twilight most of the time
Probably,
these
yeah.
days.
Well, in this deck, it would have to be fight with Luna or Celestia.
Yeah.
It's only 3 options.
Anyway, oh, I guess I never. Let me pull up the launch so I know who actually won which games, or rather, what their ratings were. Don't know if Joking Luna. Okay, yeah,
Well,
it
at ninth
was.
place, you probably have a 0-3, right?
I mean, you never know. There could be draws, but yes, yeah, he was 0-3.
Unfortunate, but cool deck.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, as I said, it's a deck he's been working on for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and continues to refine. And I'm always here for alicorns.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. And oh right, it was Anima who was running the tournament, right? Which is why all 4 of the sim guys are playing.
Yeah.
That's why we have our cat here in 8th. So Plano Pink. I'll admit a lot of like the time these days when I see Solano, I just immediately think it's a farm deck. That's actually not
No.
true in any of these. This is actually like this looks like what I would normally think would be Cadence Blue. Uh, but he's
Oh,
running it with
yeah.
Seleno instead.
Well, I mean, Selena makes sense. Gives you points. And like with Honorary Yak, you don't really need card.
Yeah. Well, depending on what you're playing against.
Yeah, true. If you're playing against another aggro deck and they're also out of steam, that can be pretty sad.
Yeah. That's actually the interesting thing. I'm looking at it. Like there isn't there's not a whole lot of Bluna here in the Harmony list. She's all over Adventure.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure. Like, is this deck stronger than your normal Hot Wings?
This deck?
Yes. Well, I mean, this kind of deck, I guess.
Right. I mean, it's got a lot of the same draw deck to it.
Well, kinda. Like, you have your Angel Wings, Spitfires, and Gallus Silverstream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Even GG and
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash and Mullet.
Yeah, the only thing that's
Property
missing is a
damage.
Rutherford, to be honest.
Really, yeah. So, well,
What's kind of interesting about blue decks in Harmony and Adventure?
Mhm.
I haven't seen Thunder Lane in such a long time.
Yeah,
It used to be like this card that every other card was compared to,
right. Well,
and
every
now
other
nobody plays it.
expensive card, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's still Thunderlane is still good in a farm meta.
Yeah, definitely. But
Um, but yeah,
I think just 480 is a bit too much.
yeah,
You never see aggro decks with anything that costs more than 3 nowadays.
that's right. Yeah,
And even if you look at this deck, all 3 cost cards are uh Giorno, which is like probably a 2.
mhm,
Gallus and Silverstream, which is probably a 0.
yeah.
And Flushy Dash, which there's no competition for that.
Well, there's Spitfire as well,
Oh yeah,
which is also uh,
but like that card is uncommon and has 4 paragraphs in it. So
yeah. Uh,
so I think even 380 is like also like on the edge of what you want to run.
mhm.
So it's interesting how things have evolved, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was Bugle who first said some time ago that Thunderlane no longer passes the Thunderlane test.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true.
Hello, Joking Luna and Prism Light. Good to see you in the
I
chat. Mention a blue point acceleration as possible. I think I will try to count the number of final questions that I'm going to see uh in the results here. Although I guess, we'll see. One in this deck, and I know there are plenty on the core side of things. So that's why we're not talking about core today.
I'm not surprised. This is a
Um,
really good problem.
it's become one of the defining problems in.
I think it's the blackmail of aggro.
Yeah, yeah, kind of without question. I mean, given that pink decks run
Without final question.
yeah, well, pink blue decks run Discord purely for the purpose of searching up final question. The same way that
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't even think of that. Like I forgot that they do that with Discord. But yeah, they do that the Discord in controls to find blackmail, and in aggro you find final question.
yeah,
It is the blackmail of aggro. So what I'm saying is we need the blackmail in core.
Well, we need. Oh, I mean, something along that same line. Probably would not go. Probably would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
I don't think control needs point acceleration because
yeah. I think point acceleration control is fine. Well, maybe not. Well, like, what do you have? You have
well,
missed main.
yeah, there's always Miss Main.
That's it.
That's it,
I
but
mean,
it's pretty good card.
missed main requires AT, and a lot of AT gen was kind of toned down by quite a bit lately. There's
Sure,
no more paper flying.
but
Very
it's
very sad.
also very good utility, even if you're not playing it purely for the point game.
I guess. I mean, so like point acceleration is like in control is really important in the tournament setting
Yes,
because you only have so much time. Like it does not matter. Like, yeah, I could win like in 2 hours without point acceleration, but that will not get me through the tournament. I don't think Mist Main is a plague. I think Mist Main is like fine. But I will say that I like Sweet Belle more than Mist Main because she was more expensive. Well, no, okay. We had what like nobody used Sweetie Belle in control decks, right? Everybody
right.
used for the finish,
Photo
which
finish,
is
yes,
mini blackmail. And then there was Changeling Throne,
yes.
and then there was Mist Main.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, I guess not that much changed when they lost blackmail as far as point acceleration goes, right?
Hmm? Yeah, the era when there was both blackmail and photo finish. That was which I guess they necessarily always existed at the same time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, was Control's golden age, which probably they had a little
Maybe
bit
it should
too
be
much.
Control's Golden Age again.
I
I think Control's Golden Age was when Mimics were released.
well, yeah, that was Defenders, right?
Yeah.
Which well, yeah, it was High Magic Marks Defenders. Well, yeah,
Yeah, it still had blackmail and for the finish. But
when we had everything, yeah.
yeah, oh, that was so good.
Anyway, we came a long way from the question of comparing this build versus doing it with Luna. And
And the answer is buff control decks.
kind of, yeah, yeah. I guess, yeah. With Seleno, you get the utility of having the Tempest thing, obviously.
Yeah.
So it scores you, an extra. I would say reasonably, maybe an extra 4 points per game. Okay.
Probably. You know what? Maybe final question is the reason why Selena is better than Luna. Because if you think about it, doing face-offs as often as you want is in need. Like, is not maybe it's not a priority anymore. You know, because you can just score so many points without face-offs.
Hmm.
Like Luna was so fast. Hot Wings was so fast because it had like its entire problem deck was like no more than 5 to confront, right?
Yeah.
And the numbers were like really nice for Luna. So the idea was that like you just ideally like do a double face off every turn, and like your problems had 2 bonus, 3 bonus, and so on.
Yes.
Like you see some ones in this deck. I think original Hot Wings didn't have a single one in its problem deck, right? Maybe
Uh, I
maybe
think,
oh it had trading
yeah.
positions,
It started transitions, but other than
which
that,
is I
yeah.
think the only one bonus point there. So like that's how you won the game, right? You were scoring a lot of points through face-offs and bonus points. But maybe that's not needed anymore, right? Maybe you don't need to do face-offs as often because You have so many other ways to score points now. Maybe that's the reason Selena is better than Luna.
Could be. Yeah, I'd be interested to see both of them kind of played in the same tournament. Maybe this is also another one that I guess is. There's a core deck, actually. Are there even any adventure cards in this?
Good question. Seems core to me. Yeah, I think this is a core deck.
Hmm.
Like even problems. Yeah, even problems are.
Yeah.
Wow, you you really know aggro problems are strong. When in a Harmony tournament, an aggro deck does not run Harmony problems.
Yep. It's I guess the Fluttershy lists include the Fireman Readies because they're full of dilemmas. But yeah.
Yeah, like that's why Hot Things was not a thing in core. Well, not as much because it was completely gutted of a problem deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the core as a format appeared, it's pretty much the entire problem deck of Hot Wings was Harmony problems. Again, because of low confront requirements and high bonus points, which was not a thing when core happened.
Yep. Now it's come back around.
Yeah, now it's the core problems are better than Harmony ones. Either way,
yeah,
we're
been in
30
this one
minutes
for a
in
while.
and we're still at 2 decks.
Sure. 7th place. Anemoy playing. Oh yeah, this is Premier Twilight. Farm.
Oh, I love this deck.
Good old fashioned Premier Twilight
Yeah,
Farm.
I
I don't
love this deck
know.
so much.
See if he's made any significant changes from the.
From what? I haven't seen this deck in such a long time. I don't even know what you would compare
So
it to.
once again, Anemoy himself played it at
Oh,
Windy City this year.
oh, I guess I completely blank on that tournament.
And yeah, it's the exact same deck list.
Okay.
I guess yeah, we didn't talk about it then because it was only a 4-person tournament. We probably didn't do a stream on it.
Yeah, probably. Maybe that's why I blanked it.
But yeah, this is I suppose, a fairly canonical deck list for Premier Twilight Farm.
You know what? Actually, the canonical deck list would usually include more cards like Friends Forever.
Oh, more of the flippers, yeah.
Yeah, but now that we have so many flippers, like other flippers, that's not needed anymore. Like you have Rainbow Laser,
Mm-hmm.
which is well, I mean, I guess they don't make it like they're the same, functionally the same cards in this deck, right? They
Yes.
cost one and flip you 5 and flip you an extra card. So
Yeah,
I guess it does not make a difference, but it's just interesting that there isn't as many Harmony cards here, you know?
well, except for a
Troublemakers.
lot of
So you have
Harmony Epics.
Troublemakers, yeah. Spike Take It Later is still a really good card in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean even Problem Deck is mostly not Harmony, like it's adventure, right? Except Social Obligations, because of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Looking for Trouble. So
Which,
what I'm saying here is that we just need a purple main like this, and this might be a thing in core.
hmm.
You know,
It probably, well,
okay, it lacks low power troublemakers, right? Which this deck kind of needs to
right.
start working. But if you change the flip condition of this main, that's not as much of an issue anymore, right? because the reason you really want low power troublemakers is mostly comes from the fact that you really need to flip your main. Once you have your main flipped, it's not as bad. Like it's still kind of better to have low power troublemakers because your main only has like 3 power or
Mhm.
maybe 6. But still, like I think it's possible to have this deck in core. You know, you just need a main with a similar effect.
Yep. Well, so this main has, you know, the text is, well, studious actually, which is pretty good.
Mhm.
And that you get to keep the events that you flip
Yeah, which is
to hand or at the
exactly
bottom
what.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now I imagine we're not going to get a direct reprint if we get anything
probably
similar.
not. That's not a thing.
Yeah. So the question is how to do something similar that's not the exact same thing.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's probably a way.
Well, yeah. That's I guess that's Sim's problem to solve, not ours.
Yeah,
We just get to say, "Hey, please do this."
yeah, it'll be so cool.
And I mean, I think you're probably right. It wouldn't be as good for the reasons you've outlined, but yeah, the structure is there.
Yeah, like most of these cards are core legal. Some of them are adventure legal, and a few of them are harmony legal. Well, all of them are harmony legal, but a
Well,
few of them are harmony only legal.
yeah, yeah.
I would love to see this deck again. Well, I mean, I do see it now,
Yeah.
but it would be really nice to have that like in core too. I would play it. I would definitely play it. Either way.
Yeah. Okay, that's number 7. Number 6. Oh, number 6. Yes, this is Grandpa's. Playing
Oh, I see
some
this main.
combo yeah, I mean, yeah, right. This main combo shenanigans, obviously.
Yeah.
This main, breezies, uh, well, yeah. Took me a little while, to see what the idea is, but well, it's a still partying deck, is what it is.
Yeah, makes sense.
This main is real good at draining your deck.
Yeah, that's
It's
kind of what it's been doing throughout its life.
yep. So I think the way that we're trying to get to 15 pink is just with Changeling Citizens, right?
15 pink. I mean, Changeling Citizens alone are not enough, right?
Well, they
You
could
need
be.
more stuff.
I mean, if we manage to keep some breezies around and um
You would need 14 other friends, which is sounds like a lot of friends.
or like if you have one of them in the discard pile and 2 of them in play,
I guess
then
true.
well, okay. If you don't agree with me, then how else do you see to get to 15 pink in this? Your main's
Mm,
orange.
well, it's pink because you play barrel,
I guess, yeah.
and then, well, yeah, Flim Flam, Changeling Citizens. I think it's like a combination of all these things, but
Hmm.
you're like, well, there's also like a problem that puts Earth Ponies into play, but like you're not guaranteed to get that. Like, you can't really rely on that, I think.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't really see a good way to have pink in this deck. Like, okay, you have 3 from Barrel, you have 3 from Flaming Flam, that's 6. And then you probably played the Griffin guy for 2 as well. So that's 9. Wow, it is really hard to get to 15 in this deck. It seems like even with breezes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just.
Maybe GP is here to tell us.
I don't think so. I just well, Wanchalon's looking at the records, and I see that Grandpa's is at 2-2. Surprising because everyone else below this only played 3 matches. So what?
Buys. Count for buys.
Buys, of course. 9 players. Yes. Oh, I guess yeah. Talonge doesn't call those wins.
Yeah. But they give the same amount of points, so they are basically wins.
Okay.
But they could have different points and different tournament systems. It's interesting to see a buy in the second place. Probably was a buy in the first round, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it would have to be a buy in the first round. Anyway, yeah, not surprising to see Grandpa's looking for something interesting and different.
Yeah.
Don't think I've seen it done this way before.
Nope.
Wait, now that I wonder, wait a second. This is the other question with this main is how you flip her. And I guess you could just save up some AT.
Can you?
Well, yeah, you can. Oh no,
Okay, yes,
no, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, you can only trigger her once.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be Giorno or Citrine Spark. Yeah, those are both excellent options. Or Flim and
And
Flam.
that's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you just do it on turn 2, I guess, right? But you really want to have at least one of those in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and you choose your train traditions as necessary to enable your entry to be costing 2. Or well, no, it's friends, not characters. Doesn't matter.
But are there really enough? Well, yeah, I guess if you're gonna be right, you're gonna be through your entire deck anyway. I guess you'll just have a bunch of breezy friends and play. I'm sorry, I'm just still thinking about the thing.
Yeah, well, Joking Luna says he got it with Awkward Quinceañera, which is that works, but how do you?
That works, but you're not guaranteed to get
Yeah,
it. Right?
there's no problem searching. I don't
Yeah,
think.
and if you play against the control deck, the problem will never show up.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the primary way, although it does definitely help.
Yeah, it works if you have it.
Yeah. Is this the deck where he wanted Ravers?
That might have been the core.
Well, in core, I don't see Ravers in his deck.
Right. Well, yeah, Ravers would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're a bit expensive, but they
would make a heck of a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, they make so much sense because you play Breezes for free, and you get Ravers.
Yeah.
Why did he not play Ravers? Did he not find someone to lend them from? Oh God, maybe that's what happened.
I guess. Yeah.
Although does Applejack retire any friend? Oh
Um.
my God, it's Applejack just retire one of your friends. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
With Ravers in here, this makes so much sense all of a sudden.
Oh. And pink is no problem either.
Yep.
Because for every friend you play, you get 2 extra ones, and you can retire them as well. Well, you probably don't want to retire them first. You probably want to get rid of breezes because they don't actually give you pink. Oh, this is fun. Okay.
Yeah. Although, well, yeah. Apparently, he didn't actually play with that card.
Yeah. I mean, but he was looking for something and probably didn't find it.
Yeah.
Because Unless I'm missing something and Reverse doesn't make as perfect sense here. But like, it is so good. Especially since Applejack, like, you just retire any friend and you have an endless supply of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh. I want to see this deck with the Bravers.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be nice. I'll always count on GP to give us something inspirational.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to fifth.
Hold on. Luna.
Yeah. But not.
Hey, is it not the same Luna? It's blue-white Luna.
It's blue-white Luna. That's right.
Okay, I do not see AK Yearlings anywhere.
Yeah, this was a Golden Notes deck, by the way. But yes, no AK Yearling. That card is it's
Uh,
Marks or Defenders.
I think it's either High Magic or Marks.
I thought it was only Adventure.
It is definitely only Adventure.
You need to remember what set had the blue-white multis in it.
Well, the Limb Actuator was in Marks, so I guess
Then it
AK Yearlings.
must have been in Marks. Yeah.
Yeah. Deduction. Either way, RTO. Have you seen that card lately?
Well, no, because I haven't seen many Harmony tournaments lately.
Cool.
But in general, no. And Thunderlane, card you were asking for too.
Yeah. This is like an old school deck, I will say, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like it has some like it's an I guess it's reimagination of an old school deck. Like it's not just an old deck list, right? It has first of all it has a sideboard. And second of all, it has new cards as well. So
hmm I mean, yeah. There's so many new cards in here. I have to imagine this isn't.
yeah.
It's an old idea.
Yeah.
Blue white has always been the colors to go in if you want to throw caution to the wind and just score as much as possible.
Yeah.
Um,
Always liked this kind of deck.
yeah,
Speaking
and
of actuator, it's right in this deck.
but yeah, we could have just looked. Uh,
What's that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this deck could still use AK Yearlings. Uh, I'd probably put them instead of Sweetie Belle because I'm like greed.
mhm.
I mean, you already play two colors and you have like what 8 entry? That's way too much.
3, 6. I guess. Wait. Yeah,
Speech.
you're playing buckball, so yeah, yeah.
Don't need that much entry.
In Harmony, especially, you know, you have to understand that you're going to be playing against some colors that are going to want to pick off uh that extra.
Yeah.
And like you are those 8 entry are supporting some pretty important cards here in Battle Row and Stygian
Yeah.
and RTO, obviously.
So here's an interesting thing, right?
Uh-huh.
This deck does not have that many hasty friends. I only see 2 of them, which is Flushy Dash and Thunderlane.
Yes. I mean, yeah, but it does have the blue domain.
Yeah, and what I was thinking. Would this deck be better with the Scootaloo?
Oh,
You know, Scootaloo is a main we haven't seen in a very long time.
it's true. And this is Harmony. This is the wait.
Like Scootaloo also like you can move your RTO back, you know,
Mhm.
at the end of every turn. Like the only problem with Scootaloo is the flip condition. It's much harder to flip than a Luna.
Mhm. But you're
But
like, you're playing Tarnish Reputation. Well, I actually prefer to play Buckball with blue.
yeah, I guess. But like that's also I mean Luna is still useful without hasty friends. You can still like you just don't do confront shenanigans, but you still get free moves.
Hmm.
But like with Scuttle, you get 2 free moves every turn, which I guess is a problem if the opponent plays an aggro deck because you kind of lose out on those moves. But still, like it'd be interesting to see this deck with Scuttle as well. Although
Yeah,
I think Luna is a valid choice as well. Like I'm not saying Luna is bad or anything, but
yeah. Well, it's the same thing that we came across earlier, debating between Cadence and Luna,
for Stellano,
Solano and Luna. Yeah, Blue has especially in Harmony, an abundance, an embarrassment of plenty when it comes to main choices.
yeah,
Um,
unless it comes to white.
well, yeah,
Name one good white main. I can name one. It's Octavia.
right, Octavia. Yes. Uh, well, yeah. Well,
Go on.
yeah, yeah. It's
I mean, Ambassador of Generosity is
yeah.
somewhat okay.
There are some others, Ambassador and Capper, who come up sometimes in specialized situations, but in
They're
terms
not
of just
they're not
yeah,
Luna.
they're not good. They're just sometimes useful.
Yeah. Also Octavia. I'd like to see that main again.
Uh, there's nothing stopping people from playing her, even in adventure.
Yeah.
Actually, well, Octavia has problems with the meta because if it's an aggro meta, then like blue is usually faster. But if it's a control meta, then well, that's kind of the cards that Octavia is weak against.
Octavia is
Really,
really weak against Troublemaker control.
yeah.
Maybe Octavia would be strong like in a white yellow deck where yellow kind of deals with troublemakers. It's just we don't really have a lot of good white yellow cards. Like there are some really good white yellow cards, as
Hmm.
far as aggro goes at least. Creature Choir comes to mind. But it's like not even close to what blue yellow has, right? Like it's not comparable even, I would say.
Hmm.
So maybe we need a little bit of, white yellow.
Well, white yellow
Support.
spent like 2 or 3 sets trying to support changelings.
Yeah.
So
But it'd be nice to see, just a regular white yellow aggro. Or control be supported.
or
White yellow
control.
control is also a thing. We
Yeah.
have that time.
Speaking of, there's a bit of that coming up. Not next deck,
Ooh.
but coming up. Which we'll skip right over. Well, we won't skip right over. I will show it to you. But
Oh,
in
Ivory.
fourth place is Ivory, playing a a stunning wonder blue deck. Uh, this is very close to the core list, with the exception of Day Shift,
And Chillax.
Chillax,
And that's it.
and oh yeah, geez, he didn't even put in the Firewind Readies. Um, yeah,
Those are only 2 cards that are not legal in core in this deck. And Chillax is the only card that was not legal in
mhm. Yeah. I'm personally getting a bit tired of this deck. I've seen a whole lot of it over the course of the last couple months.
Well, this deck is kind of be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, very much so. It's it kind of is a what's a word, coming together of a lot of factors, of a lot of things get
Yeah,
that were good and continue to get better, and yeah,
yeah. It's in a harmony, almost a core deck list just tells you how strong it is.
hmm yeah, and that's like it is good to have decks emerge out of core that can go to harmony and actually
Mm-hmm.
hold their own and challenge. Um, but well, what am I trying to say? well, yeah, I've just seen a lot of
Not
it
you,
before. That's what I'll say,
but not you, blue yellow.
I guess.
All right,
Yeah,
next.
yeah, sorry. But yeah, then next up in third, yes, Brandon Pagano, Brandon P. As mentioned. So this is a different Fluttershy. This is Equestrian Odyssey's Fluttershy. I had to look again to see what this card does.
Ooh.
So it's calming 2, and at the start of a problem face off involving this card, your opponent loses an AT. And yeah, this appears to be yellow. Well, it's yellow purple control with just a little bit of white thrown in for bedtime and big mix up. And yeah, this is a lot of AT denial and a lot of rounds to go with the bedtime, obviously.
Yeah. And a T-gen of your own because purple.
Mm-hmm.
Redeem Starlight. When did you see Redeem Starlight last? We have seen it in the past.
We have seen it a little bit.
It was like one deck that used it for
She
some
used to be
shenanigans.
in. She used to be in the
Reanimator, right?
in Reanimator and in the Paradox Pony lists, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But not here. Doesn't use shenanigans. It's here
Yeah.
for the value, I think.
Yeah. Just the regular redeem shenanigans, such as those are.
Yeah. But
Which
like, oh, I guess there's a reason there's only one copy of this card, but don't have many things to redeem it off, right? You probably don't want to use it on your guidance cancelers because that's like you paid free for them and they give you AT. Like redeeming guidance cancelers is not. It's I think net negative. So the only option really is Snowfall Frost, which is there's only 2 copies of.
Mhm.
So there's some magic that needs to happen, I guess,
Yeah.
for
Well,
redeem to happen.
it
But
won't happen very often, but Snowfall Frost is the best card to do it. It's a 1 cost friend with a good
yeah,
from hand effect.
so nice that this card is Starlight Glimmer and not Snowfall Frost.
Exactly so.
Philomena. That's like
It's
we have a living ground at home.
pretty much, yeah. In yellow.
Yeah.
But it's still effective against opponents that want to bank up AT.
Yeah.
And like I just want to count the number of cards in this deck that can make your opponent lose AT. Is the main it's
Philomena,
that one
Sunburst,
Sunburst.
Main.
Uh,
That's it.
no.
Oh well, there's incriminating evidence,
Incriminating evidence.
and then that's it.
I suppose that's it. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's not
But
that.
that's a fair amount, you know.
Yeah. Well.
And there's like a lot of AT gen in this
Mm-hmm.
deck. You have Starlight, you have Gunbaddy, incriminating evidence, you
Mm-hmm.
have Sunburst, you have like I like this.
Yeah, and clearly it worked out. I see. He was 2-2, third place, top of the tiebreakers. It's yellow purple control is a style that jeez, you don't see it much at all.
No, I mean the Zipperwheel deck existed
Well,
back in the
Zipperwheel,
day.
yeah. I mean that one worked very differently than this one.
Yeah, it's very, very different.
Yeah,
So Ocean Flow, such a cool card.
Ocean Flow. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this card.
In a tournament,
In
I
a,
haven't seen it, but I
no,
have played it,
yeah.
like in my own tinkering with decks, and it's kind of very pricey, but also I really like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you have enough AT to support it, which I guess this deck is really trying
Yeah.
hard to have enough AT, then yeah, it should be pretty good.
Oh,
Oh,
But the reason Ocean Flow is better in this deck comes from Mr. and Mrs. Shine. Because she has Swift.
Well, only when she's at home.
Yeah, that's like good enough. You pay 280 to move something at immediate speed. That's like playing Frozen Magicite, you know?
I guess so. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like this deck.
Yeah. This is.
I kind of want to play it, to be honest. Like, I want to. Or, I mean, well, build something similar, right? It's the same idea
Mm-hmm.
and just play around with it. Seems fun.
Right. I just want to point out we were counting AT gains. A party for Moondancer also in there as a problem. As a problem. I don't know if you're going to be confronting problems with 4 characters much. Probably not, actually.
I would just put Entrance Exile instead.
It's a fair call, actually. Like, yeah, actually, the problem deck's a little. Well, this is a problem deck that. I'll say this leans aggressive, actually. Like, you obviously could make
Yeah.
a much more control-oriented problem deck if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, first thing doesn't have blackmail.
Yeah.
But second thing is, I mean, I just don't see. Okay, so there's one thing that party of for Moondancer is better than Entrance Exam. It's 8 for the opponent instead of 7, but that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah. So,
And I guess you don't have to exhaust your main. That's
Mhm.
the thing.
Looking at the problem deck, I think I was wrong to call this a control deck. This is pretty squarely mid range. I'm looking at it.
Well, okay, let's look a little closer. You have New Antique Store, which is like it's a purple problem. Like it's not a control problem, but it is a good purple problem. You have Recipe Research, which has 7 on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
but a bonus of 2, which was always a negative for me anyway.
Yeah.
Then you have Silent Treatment, and that's here because of bedtime, and that's like a controlish problem. It's
Okay.
it's like easy to confront, but I think the reason this problem is here is because of the text, not because of the confront requirements.
Sure. Well, but
Uh,
like, if this is a control deck, you wouldn't be solving problems.
why not? Control decks solve problems.
Well, sometimes.
Also, your opponents solve problems sometimes.
Well, fair enough. Yes.
And like I mean, all of the problems here, except 2. No, actually, it's more than 2. But like half of the problem deck is 7 power
I
for
mean,
the opponent.
yes, that's true. But like, you could put it in halfway across Equestria if you wanted to. That's a control
Yeah,
problem that exists. I suppose your main is yellow. I didn't consider that. So yeah, you do kind of need yellow problems to the extent that you can. And it's
okay,
true that
let's just. I mean, I think this deck confronts problems. Like it's,
yes.
I wouldn't call it so. Like again, decks are kind of a gradient, right? And
Hmm.
this one is like something I would say in between mid range and control. It's not like a full control deck because it doesn't try to lock your opponent out, and it's like, and by the nature of how this deck works, you're gonna have friends at problems. You're gonna be confronting problems, right? Because Ocean Flow probably gonna be at a problem at some point. So it's gonna be Sunburst, maybe some other friend. Like I think it's on the controlish side, but it's not like a full control deck. Something in between mid range and control, I'd say.
Hmm. How do you think this deck does against farm?
Uh,
Like it's got like Ocean Flow is pretty good against farm.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, I guess. I don't see how you would. Yeah, Ocean Flow is like immediate disruption for farm, but how do you deal with troublemakers yourself? It's really weird question to ask for a yellow, but
yeah.
This deck doesn't have anything, right?
Uh, yeah, I guess so.
But that's easily changed, I think. Maybe
Yeah,
it's a meta read, you know?
I seems like a correct meta read given that
Yeah,
I
and
don't
there's
think
like
there was
one.
any. Well, yeah, that was the Premier Twilight. But other than that, yeah, that was the only farm deck at the tournament.
Yeah. But like this could easily have some like in yellow it's really easy to
Yeah,
find way.
yeah, it's not that hard to find some like yeah, even what is it, Sanctuary Construction?
Mm-hmm.
Throw that or the yellow dilemma that dismisses the Troublemaker too.
Yeah.
That's the one I think. Yeah, yeah, throw that in there, and even that on its own is pretty good.
If you don't want dilemmas, there's like things like Turning Point or
Mhm.
some other stuff. Like it's not too hard. Either way,
Yeah, sure. Let's move
next deck.
on. Uh,
Second place,
Second place is Sokol playing.
Celeno.
Yeah,
It's
3 guesses, but
it's
2 of
yeah,
them don't
exactly the
count.
same deck.
It's Sokol's deck. He still hasn't even bothered to put in a sideboard.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, apparently he doesn't need a sideboard.
Yeah, it
Good enough.
is. Like it's funny. Um, this is maybe something worth thinking about. Like he's been playing this deck for a long, long time now. Making. Wait a minute. Uh,
I don't think this deck has new Dawn cards.
it does not.
It doesn't have any single
It
print or play
doesn't.
card.
Yeah, it doesn't even have any Leaders and Legends cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if everybody was playing this deck, would we get sick of it?
I mean,
Or
yeah.
is it okay because it's only him? Because it is still really good. Like he he still gets pretty consistent tops in tournaments.
Yeah. I think if everybody played this deck, we would get sick of it. But since it's like Sokol's thing,
Hmm.
I think he get like it's like Pancake playing Farm, you know? Or like Josh playing Lyra.
Right.
Although Josh, I guess, plays other decks as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for his deck list, he just wrote same deck as Babscon.
Hmm. Which
Amazing.
if you can get away with it, right? And like he probably
And for
gets
Babscon, he could have written same deck as the previous convention.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
all the way back to 2019.
Yeah. Which like there is something to be said for he probably gets a fair amount of mileage out of just knowing this deck so well by now, probably having played it
Yeah.
for like years, and probably against basically everything that you could potentially see on the other side.
It's also really interesting to see grubbers because people don't run Fire of Friendship anymore because Tempest and Grubber kind of are
Well,
not like Tempest and Grubber. I think is still really strong, but nobody plays it yet. Plays it because purple is not in a great place right now. Like it's like or maybe there's some stronger starters. I don't know, but like you haven't seen Tempest as a main for a long time now. I think
yeah, yeah,
so. Like so, everybody stopped running Fire of Friendships. There are better options out there now, right? Uh, and mostly people run Friends, right? Because Friends are so good
hmm
for entry compared to Fire of Friendship. So, sneaking grubbers in here is pretty good because nobody runs a counter to them anymore.
yep. And you just play them as auxiliaries with well, yeah, either you have Tempest Shadow at the other problem, or
Hmm.
you well, yeah, you try to keep them both in play when you can because Grubber is a 0.5 power troublemaker. It's not definitely not.
Yeah, I think it's better to keep grubber in play and dismiss Tempest, right? If you play both of them at the same trouble.
Yeah, Tempest is only there for the enters play condition.
Yeah. I remember when this deck had white in it. Maybe it still could use some white. Well, I mean, I'm not. I think Sokol probably refined it as much as he can. But I do wonder if Captain was something that's worth putting here, and probably not, because I think otherwise it would be here.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, he did once upon a time, as we know.
Yeah, he used to have Captain Was in this deck, as well as I think as well as some other white.
Uh,
Maybe
well,
not.
yeah, no. There were older builds that looked a little bit more like the blue and white list that we saw here,
Yeah,
with more of the point scoring effect.
yeah,
Um, I think that was honestly just a bit overkill. Because he just has enough points with this.
yeah.
But yeah, this
Right.
this deck is kind of just like very fine gold, just purified down to its utter essence.
Yeah. All right. Last deck.
Well, last
It's
deck.
gonna be quick.
It's so this is Cheese's list. It's not the exact same as the one that I've replayed.
I think Ivory didn't have T-Rex.
Let me bring them up side by side here so I can check. Ivory did not have the featherweights, which is a little strange actually, because they're really good cards in this deck. Anything else? Yes, Ivory did not have the Bryans either.
No Bryans, no Featherweights, no T-Rex Reign of Terror.
Yes. Wait,
I think
but
that's it.
no Tears of Terror. That means Ivory must have had a card that Cheese didn't, because they're
I think so. Maybe he had more of the same card.
well, like the number of
There's 3 loyal ponies in Ivory's deck.
well, like so. Cheese's deck
There's
has
Jonas.
has
Jonas.
there it is. Yes, yeah. Cheese's deck has 2 more distinct cards than Ivory's does. So if there was 3 on one side, there's got to be 1 on the other. But Jonas, yes. Um,
Is
which
blue yellow, everyone?
it well, yellow blue. Um, but yeah, I guess actually Cheese's list is closer to the core version. Well, except that he's playing the Fire When Readies, which do make a lot of sense when you have this
Is
many
it
dilemmas.
for Ivory's list? It was only 2 cards that were not in core. In this list, we have Fire and Radius, we have T-Rex, as well as Chillax and Day Shift. So it's 4 cards.
It's true, but I feel like this is well,
Yeah, I
th-
don't
th-
know how.
they're gonna play broadly the same no matter how you run it. But this feels like more of the style that the deck tries to do in core. Um, maybe it's just seeing the
Does it?
featherweight actually that turns me
Yeah,
in
I
that
don't.
direction.
Yeah, I don't really
You don't understand what I'm getting at. Maybe I don't understand
know.
what I'm getting at.
I think Ivory's deck is. I mean, ultimately, these are the same deck, kind of.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Okay.
he was, well, yeah, he was first place, 4-0. Let me just take a second. He played against Arcat, Brandon, and I'm like, yeah. But yeah, I said we didn't have a whole lot to talk about with this. Were there any core decks that you wanted to highlight? Let's quickly
Uh,
see. Back over here again.
I think GP's deck looked interesting.
He is. Well, This is. I guess it's not quite the BRV thing that was played at Continentals. Yeah, this is kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Sure. Throw this on.
It's fireworks in it.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. How did you? Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. I have to. I had these spare scenes in the in OBS, which I thought I could just drop a deck into, but no, they're not set up properly. So just circle back up here.
Is like I'm looking at Utopia's deck, and I
Hmm.
get a feeling I've seen it before from Utopia, right? But I don't remember where it was because Utopia only plays at Ciderfest, right? So it had to be Ciderfest, or maybe it's one of the online cons.
Probably.
You,
Which one is it?
Prism Light, if you're still here, tell me where did I see this deck? If or maybe I'm making this up. Maybe I did not see it before.
Let me see. Bunch of different or spreadsheets. It is a Grogar.
Oh, Winnie City. Maybe I saw it then. Yeah, that sounds right.
Let me see. I
Yeah,
have
yeah, Winnie City. Yeah. I think that's the one.
no, no. He did.
No?
He wasn't there when he said he.
Oh,
Not for core at
well.
least. But he did play it, or at least let's see. I have a Grogar deck from him at one of the recent at the online con that came immediately afterward.
Oh, probably an online con then. Yeah, because look at
Uh,
this deck list. Like this looks familiar. Either way, I
it's no, it's not the same list.
not the same list.
That one was a farm deck. This one is
Oh, this one
decidedly
is just
not.
orange. Yeah, this one is not a farm deck.
Let's see. We go back. No, Bugle. Here he is at
I really do appreciate
Coco.
Prism Light's dedication to orange.
No, yeah, I think this is a novelty.
Oh,
I mean, yes, it is still
but I
orange.
have like a memory of it. How?
I mean, it might have been it might have been not him, I guess.
Maybe not.
Let's see.
Well,
There's
either way, let's
feathers,
not spend too much time on this. I think.
orange paint. Oh, hmm. Well, oh, maybe it wasn't Grogar main, but yeah, let's not spend too much time on this. I still have
There's no other main it could have been though.
yeah, I still have Grandpa's deck up on the screen. If you wanted to say anything about that.
So I don't think this is a BRB deck per se. Like it's not pure BRB, that's for sure.
Well, no. Like it
You don't
was
even have like what enters playabilities are there. You have Flurry Heart, one copy of. You have
Tempest, Shadow, and
uh
Grubber, and Discord.
yeah, that's it.
Uh,
And how do you portal stuff?
well,
You don't, right?
yeah.
You
No, you don't. Yeah,
you
that
only
doesn't
have Luna's Fissures.
that doesn't work except in Adventure. So it's just control. It's another stab at pink purple.
Okay, but no, it has free copies of fireworks. You don't put free copies on fireworks on just a control deck, right? There must be a reason for it. Like with Bugle's deck, there was a big reason for it. You uncovered Nightmare Moons in Harmony, and that's sad. But like
I need to like remember how fireworks works.
you,
At the start of the next turn, they all turn over again.
yes.
So it
So
is
like you kind of sort of soft white the board until the end of the turn, if you really want to.
right. Okay, so it's good against token decks.
Yeah. Are there many token decks in core?
There's some. There's. I mean, you always have to be prepared for Thorax.
Enough to put free copies of fireworks in this deck?
there's Pegasus tokens around. Like, maybe knowing a bit of Grandpa's mind, I would have to assume that he was going all out to try to beat Stunning Wonder.
I just don't know. Like, 3 copies is a lot of copies for a card like this.
Sure, okay. What do you think they're in here for?
I know that's what I want to figure out. Like even against tokens, it's counterproductive, right? Because you have bodyguard.
Hmm.
You
Oh,
might be hitting your own tokens, which is
it's
not great
very,
because unicorns are amazing.
very good point.
And like you have 3 copies of bodyguards and 3 copies of
Oh,
untested magic fireworks.
okay, so you board out the fireworks then, if you're expecting it to be a match where Bodyguard is your super card.
You think this is a sideboard?
Well, as you mentioned, it's super anti-synergistic with Bodyguard, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in a matchup where Bodyguard is your card that's going to win you the game, I don't think you keep the fireworks. I really wish
I
Grand
mean,
Boss was here to explain his deck.
maybe he'll watch the recording.
Well, I mean, he probably explained it in the stream where Sim talked about
Oh
the
yeah, probably.
SavsCon results.
I should watch that. Yeah. Because it is interesting. But yeah, other than that, it does kind of look like just a control deck. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, doesn't control by just removing stuff? Is there
Yeah,
not much more going on here?
this is similar to what we saw Skystar Purple doing before. Like you don't I mean, you win by removing stuff from the opponent by frustrating them, and then by once you establish sort of the bodyguards and have enough AT that way,
Yeah.
um, yeah, you can just kind of stroll to victory.
True. Hmm. Do you really sideboard 3 copies of firework? But like, I'm not leaving this. So you say against like a certain matchups, you remove bodyguards and keep fireworks, right? That's your point, right?
Well, okay, I mean, it would seem like it.
But then you have Starlight, which synergizes with unicorns,
Well,
as well
it's
as
a single copy of Starlight. You board it
and
out
then you
too.
have belly flops, and then
Well, I mean, you have plenty of targets for belly flop regardless. Like, okay, the
and
the fundamental question is still like, even if we go down this road, what matchup is this where we're expecting fireworks to be the number one card?
yeah, what matchup where you use fireworks instead of bodyguards? Why would be better to have like yeah, there's thorax and tokens, whatever, right? You have a bunch of unicorns to get a bunch of 18.
Yeah,
I guess you have no good mass removal, but hmm. I guess it's better than school shutdown. Maybe that's what's happening here.
is
That's like so
is it
specific. It's like
is it
against.
actually better than Skull Shutdown though?
Well, you don't get rid of your own stuff. Like you
But
kind of keep your board.
you don't really get rid of the opponent's stuff either.
Well, against the token decks, you do, right?
I guess, yes.
But you don't get your own tokens. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the problem deck. Huh? But no, if there was something in the problem deck that was vital to this, you'd have discords. This is a hat scratcher for me.
Prism Light says Stomp confronts, which is right. Revert. I'm not sure what card you're referring to with SW. Oh,
Hmm. Oh,
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 stunning wonder. That's actually not a bad point. Actually, not a bad point.
what about Sliding Wonder?
You well, you turn her face face. You turn her over.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, a face-off happens. She flips, and then she flips back.
well, so wait a second. Can
Is
you
that the idea?
do that? Like, what exactly is her flip condition?
I think when the problem face-off starts.
When a problem face off starts. At the start of a problem face off. Yeah. So like you can't play this and then have a problem face off start because
No,
you
you
know
can because so you play fireworks. Stunning Wonder flips to the start side, right?
uh-huh.
Then you do a face-off. She flips to the boosted side, and then
How
at the end
how
of
do
the
you do a face off? Everything is frightened.
uh you play stuff. Why not? You flip your main, and then you flip your main again next turn.
I guess.
I mean, maybe, maybe. I mean, that sounds not too unreasonable.
Admittedly, that's probably the most plausible thing that we've
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Honestly, I think Prison Light is close to this. I mean, only GP could tell us, but
maybe Prism Light watched the Sim stream, and that's what GP said.
maybe. But
But
yeah, I mean, it works well, right? Because you flip Skystar, you get to flip her again, and you unflip their main.
mhm. Well, yeah. If you
Which
yeah, okay. He played against it. That makes sense. Yeah.
did GP play both bodyguards and fireworks? Because it is counterproductive, right? But I don't think you're
No.
sideboarding one or the other one.
Yeah. Like it makes sense because a lot of Stunning Wonder like tries to you play the super easy searching high and low, and then the rest of your problem deck is maybe not hard to confront per se, but bigger because you want the high bonuses and such. Um, I can understand that. I'd be like knowing the well, I don't know about knowing per se, but suspecting that's what he's trying to do makes me really want to see like how he pulls that off on a turn because I think then the pieces will really click together.
Yeah. See, I said it was an interesting deck.
It is, it is. Is there
All right.
any other core decks we want to draw attention to?
I mean, we could. I think there are some interesting ones that are not blue yellow. But maybe I'm just biased for purple, because there's a spell for that deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're kind of
Let me look at that
over
one
time.
quickly. And I guess what are we? 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, in that tournament, there was only one token deck.
Well, do you count Grandpa's deck as a token deck?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing a card that counters token decks, and I know there's gonna be at least one token deck because I am the token deck. We need something like Flitter in core, except
uh,
not restricted to problems.
well, I
Flitter dismissed
yeah,
tokens with not
well,
tokens but
right.
friends
Well,
with power of one.
uh, um, Sanctuary Scuffle does
Yeah,
that.
that's like the closest thing, but I think something like Flitter would be pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, we covered all the Harmony decks. And yeah, maybe we'll make time for some of these other core decks at some point down the road.
Yeah,
But Harmony was the format that I was really interested in looking at because it's been
yeah,
so long since we last had an event in that format. And
honestly, there were a ton of interesting decks. I think, like, we only skimmed over through blue stuff because it was kind of the same, but every other deck was kind of unique. Well, I guess Sokol doesn't count, but
well, it
other
is unique because it's his deck. He's the only guy who plays it.
yeah, it's unique in its own way,
Hmm.
in its own unique way. But like the rest of the decks, I really liked them.
Yeah. Which will bring us to the end of our stream today. Thank you everyone for coming out and joining us. We actually had a pretty good turnout in the chat. Thanks everybody. Tonight at I guess it is 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, will be our lower bracket final match of the Invitational. It's going to be Grandpa's playing against Bugle. The two players in the tournament who did not bring Fluttershy and did not bring Hot Wings. Bugle is playing a Luna deck, but it's Luna purple. It's different. So if you, it's they played some unique games, some new stuff. Like I
It's gonna
said,
be interesting.
I'm sure you're gonna like it, Hithrock. I know I enjoyed watching it, and I'll
I'm
enjoy watching
excited.
it again.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, not yet, at least. And then as far as this stream goes, well, we'll be back. I guess it'll be December. It'll be December 10th. And
That sounds right.
which is that's the day of the online con, isn't it?
If it is it?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Or maybe our stream should be the online con, huh?
We'll see. I should just look up the schedule.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Is it
December 12th.
is it running the same time that we'd be on?
Uh, yes. No, I think it's late. No, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. So I time zones. I don't know them. So
Pacific. So that's 1:30 for
I think
So
it's later than.
it would start half an hour from now if it was on today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we could still have a stream then.
We could, yeah.
We'll see.
And well, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for coming out. Until next time, I've been Cursive Chords.
I've been Hip Rock.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.